Hi friends, Krista here. Thanks for stopping by Books and Jams. Today we're going to be talking about all the books that I read in the month of May. And we're getting to that time of day when the sun is shining into this window through my blinds. The lighting is going to go bad really soon. So I'm going to do my best to go really quickly. I apologize in advance for the glare or any of the light situations that are going to happen. The first 4 books, I'm going to just tell you their names and titles, but I will be having another video either that has already come out or that's coming out soon about the Go With The Flow reading challenge that is hosted by Sarah from Sarah's Nightstand and Jen from The Bookish Blonde, 2 of my booktube besties. I did a vlog where I got caught up with January, February, March, and April. So these are the 4 books that I read for that. I will not tell you what the prompt was. I won't tell you anything about it. You're going to have to watch that video. But I read Castle of Water by Dane Huckelbridge, The Amalfi Curse by Sarah Penner, The Melancholy Life of Annie Astor by Scott Wilbanks, The Fix-Up by Sharon M. Peterson. So those 4 books will be talked about in a different video. And then I have 10 more that I read in the month of April. We're talking about May here, not April. Usually, if I have 5 or more books by the midpoint of the month, I will do a mid-month reading wrap-up, but I didn't this month. And yet here we are at the end of the month and I have 14 books read. So I read a lot in the second half of the month, which is awesome. One of the reasons that I was slower at the beginning of the month is because I did read Coming Home by Rosamund Pilcher. I am joining in with Jen from Jen's Reading Life and Rebecca from Rebecca's Literary Wanderings, I think is her channel. They did a read along for this and I joined in. I wanted to read another Rosamund Pilcher. It had been a while since I'd read one. This is my 3rd and least favorite of the ones that I read. And this is more of a coming of age story where the 2 other ones I read more had an elderly main character, which I love. I don't mind a coming of age usually, but I didn't love our main character in here, who was Judith. I think what I didn't love is as she got older, the different romances, the crush that she had since she was young, and then the man that she ends up with at the end. I just had a few things about it that gave me the ick. And I think it's because when they first meet, she's quite young. And he talks about having been drawn to her from early on, and that just gives me the ick. It's not a big part of the story. The coming of age, a lot of the men in the story go off to war at one point, and I appreciated the historical kind of backdrop of the story. I love Rosamund Pilcher's writing. It's very cozy and descriptive and slower paced, but enjoyable. This is just my least favorite of the ones of hers that I've read so far. Kind of a bummer. Another one that I didn't love, but I liked was The Four Graces by D.E. Stevenson. This is a series finisher for me. Yay for finishing a series. I decided I'm going to keep Miss Bunkle's book from this series, but probably pass on the other 3. They were okay. They were delightful stories while I read them, but I really, really liked Miss Bunkle's book. This one was just fine. We follow 4 sisters, their relationship with each other through different house guests that come and stay with them, through a little bit of romance drama. But I found the ending to be predictable. I was hoping for that ending, but it was very abrupt. All of a sudden we were just done with the book. Like what on earth? So I didn't love the abrupt ending, but I did love the sisters and their relationship with each other, really mainly with 3, because the 4th sister is away for most of the story. But I liked their different personalities and how they balance each other out. I loved their relationship with their father. It was a sweet story, but ultimately I don't need to keep it on my shelves. Another series finisher that I had this month is Mockingbird Court by Juno Black. This is the 6th and final book in the Shady Hollow series. I really enjoyed this one. Vera Vixen, again, is our amateur sleuth / journalist. And in this one, it was kind of interesting because the mystery happens out of town, even. Vera had just visited the big city, came back and learned of somebody from her past who was murdered. And so she is involved very heavily in this investigation, but also she's one of the suspects. So it was interesting to learn about Vera's past, which we haven't gotten in most of the other books, but also to see this murder that had taken place in a different town and how she's going to go about trying to solve it from Shady Hollow. So I really enjoyed this one. I do have one novella left to read in the series, but it's Phantom Pawn. I'm going to read it closer to Halloween time, but I really love this series. It's a cozy mystery series where all of the characters are woodland creatures. I love her best friend Lenore and the bookshop that she runs in an old tree that like spirals up You can climb up the stairs or you can fly up if you're a bird. I love Joe the moose who runs the cafe, and the panda who runs the sushi place. I really love the characters in this story and the relationships with each other that have been built over the 6 books. It's a lovely, cozy little series, and I'm so glad that I finished it. One more series off of my list. Another book I'm not going to talk too much about because this is the last of my 5-star predictions that I needed to read. When the Cranes Fly South by Lisa Ridson is an older main character reflecting on his life at the end of life. I feel like this is a great pairing with Atul Gawande's Being Mortal, which is a nonfiction about aging and end of life and care for those who are at that place of life. And that's all I will say about it here. I won't say how much I liked it, but I did like it. Right at the beginning of the month, I think this was my first read of the month, Alchemy of Secrets by Stephanie Garber. What a wild ride this was. I don't even remember why I ended up picking it up. I think it was kind of a mood read at the beginning of May, and I really enjoyed it. I can't tell you much about what happened because I feel like, I don't know. I felt like I was down the rabbit hole with Alice. Things were happening, or were they happening? Who to trust, who not to trust? Is it a mystery? Is it a fantasy? Is it a little bit of both? Yes. Yes to all the things. It was a wild ride of secrets and urban legends, and are those legends real or not? It had the dark academia feel to it. I really enjoyed it, but I don't really know what it's about. I could probably tell you, but I feel like it's one of those books that's more fun to go into just kind of not really knowing anything and just be willing to go along for the ride. It's not super realistic all the time, and you will be left wondering, what on earth did I just read? In the best kind of way. Did I sell you on that one? I don't know. Also, at the beginning of the month, I read another series finisher. This is the end of the duology. The first one is Wolf Hollow, and this is My Own Lightning by Lauren Wolk. I really like Lauren Wolk. I feel like I've read quite a few of hers. I did add her to my read to zero list because there's a few more that I need to read by her. But in Wolf Hollow, it deals a lot with bullying, in particular the bullying of the sister and brother, and also a veteran, an older veteran. We follow Annabelle, who, after the events of Wolf Hollow, is really still kind of struggling and has the opportunity to interact with some of the other kids involved with the bullying and allowing them a second chance almost, or understanding that people are more than the sum of their mistakes, and finding her own strength within herself to be accepting and loving of the people in her life, whether they've made mistakes or not. I don't know that it was necessary. I feel like reading Wolf Hollow is complete within itself, but I liked the story and the growth that happens in Annabelle in this one in particular. Really good. My Patreon book club book was The Berlin Letters by Catherine Ray. I'm really glad that I read this Catherine Ray book. This deals with the Berlin Wall going up overnight, and then the timeline of the next generation. So there's this couple who lives in East Berlin. The dad, the father, the husband works for a newspaper and is really good at writing their propaganda for them. And the wife is having a really hard time with it. And then overnight the wall goes up, and she at one point sends her daughter over the wall to her parents who live in West Germany. And she kind of gives them her daughter to raise because things start cracking down immediately once the wall goes up. So it's just this east-west kind of seeing the difference between the two. But then we follow that daughter who got passed over the wall. Years later, she is now working for the CIA and is working in their code breaking department. And these letters are discovered. One of her friends asks her about these letters, and she recognizes something about these letters, and it sends her on this journey to learn more about her family and some secrets that she did not know about. And it was really good. I liked this book very much. It makes me want to read more about that time period in Berlin when the wall went up basically overnight, and more stories like that. I've read one Jennifer A. Nielsen book, a middle grade, called A Night Divided, which is about the same time period. I would like to find more and read more. So if you know of any good ones, let me know. Also, for my Patreon, I read my Patreon pick right at the end of the month. I squeezed this in this past weekend, and it's Jane Harper's Last One Out. This was my Patreon pick for the month of May. Oh my goodness, do I love Jane Harper. I just really love her writing, her mystery writing. This is a mystery. We follow this husband and wife who are separated, because 5 years ago their son went missing and we don't know what happened to Sam, the son. They live in this town called Carillon Ridge, which is becoming a ghost town basically because of this mine that moved in nearby and is buying up all of the property. So businesses are leaving, people are leaving, and there's a few hangers-on who are just determined to not sell their property to the mine, who are determined to stay in town. The dad, Sam's dad, is staying there because this is where he feels connected to his son who went missing. And the mom left for the same reason, the grief. She couldn't stay there where her son went missing. So they just grieve very differently. And that has caused a little rift in their relationship, but they clearly still love each other. So it's a marriage story. It's a family story, but it's also this mystery of what happened to Sam. And it's also this town that is dying because of this mine, and all of the different characters and people who live in this town, and why are they staying? Why are they making the choices that they're making? It's so in depth. The characters are so nuanced and the mystery is so good, but I really felt for these characters. I could feel the mine constantly making noise and being there as a presence in the background. Jane Harper is really good at building atmosphere and setting. Really, really good in all of her books. And this one was no different. I gave this 5 stars. I really loved it. I just love Jane Harper. I just love her so much. And then I had 2 kind of random reads towards the end of the month. I did pick up Mad Mabel by Sally Hepworth. For some reason in my brain, this was going to be a mystery thriller. And there was a little element of mystery to it, but definitely not thriller, definitely not fast paced. We follow Mad Mabel, who's an 80-year-old woman. That's what she's called by so many, because people around her all her life have come to some tragic deaths, and people think that she is the cause of it or convince other people that she's the cause of it. So is she mad? Does she do jail time? Like all of these things that have happened to Mad Mabel, and we're getting her now as an older woman, lives in this community and is kind of pestered by a young girl who lives on the street who's determined to befriend her. But then when a neighbor turns up dead, people's eyes turn to Mabel. They use her past and her history against her in making her a suspect when really she shouldn't be a suspect. We're just learning about Mabel and her life and the things that have happened to her. And we're seeing her relationships with the people in this neighborhood where she currently lives. It was a lot less intense than I was expecting. It was a more quiet read, more character driven about Mabel than this impulsive, intense mystery thriller that I was thinking it was. And that's a me problem, not a book problem. I do think it was well done. I really did care about Mabel and these characters on her street. I thought she was whip smart. There is a lot of language in here. So if that's something that bothers you, that will bother you, because there is quite a bit of language in here that I didn't love, but I did like Mabel, and I ended up giving it 3.5 stars. But it's really a me problem, not a book problem. Just don't go in thinking that this is a mystery thriller, because it's really not. It's more a character study of Mabel and her life. And finally, one more that I picked up right at the end of the month, kind of on a whim, is Iona Iverson's Rules for Commuting by Claire Pooley. Another story of found family and friendship, similar to her book, The Authenticity Project, which I read. In this one, we follow Iona, and most of the book happens on the train and the people that she connects with on the train. At the beginning, none of these people talk to each other. They kind of recognize who they see on the train. Iona herself is a little bit more outspoken, wears louder clothes, but she's about to be made redundant in her job. She's a little older. She works in a magazine, but we start to learn about Iona's past and her kind of glamorous life that she lived when she was younger. But then one day on the train, one of these people that she recognizes, who she rides the train with all the time, starts choking, and others get involved to rescue and save this man who's choking, and it kind of breaks the ice. And now they begin to talk and learn about each other and connect with each other. And I did find all of that really lovely. I don't know that it's one I need to keep and reread, but I did really enjoy the found family. I liked these characters. I liked watching them come together, and it was a lovely, uplifting read for me here towards the end of May. So here are the 14 books that I read in the month of May. I would love to chat with you about any of these, or what was your favorite reads during the month of May. Let me know if you felt the same or differently about any of these than I did, if any of them are going on to your TBR or getting taken off your TBR. I would love to chat with you about any of that or anything else you want to talk about in the description down below. And if you've made it to the end but you're not feeling chatty, why don't you go ahead and put a house for coming home, put a house emoji in the comments just to let me know that you were here. I really appreciate you taking some time out of your day to watch and support my channel in that way. Don't forget to like and subscribe, hit the little bell for notifications, all of that kind of stuff. Just thank you so much for all of your support and love on my channel. I really appreciate you. If you want to join my Patreon and join us in our future book clubs and get to recommend some books to me, the link for that is always in the description below as well. And that is going to be it for me today. Thank you so much for watching. I look forward to chatting with you in another video very soon. Bye.